a full-fledged governor, the master of an entire province. So, how could a mere slave boy rise to the position of a mighty governor? To find an answer, we need to hear the story of the Bandagan. The Bandagan were the royal slaves of the Delhi Sultanate, and their utility for the sultans was priceless. Let's see how. The Delhi Sultanate covered vast areas of the subcontinent. To rule over such a large territory, the Sultan needed help. He needed governors and administrators. Usually, aristocrats and landed chieftains were appointed to such high offices. But there was a problem with such people. They could have proven to be disloyal. An aristocrat might revolt against the Sultan and declare independence. In order to find truly loyal governors, the Sultan turned to the Bandagan. The Persian word banda means slave. Its plural form is bandagan or slaves. When a slave was brought, he had no social standing. He was a nobody. In order to progress and acquire status, he was totally dependent on the Sultan. Because of this total dependence, the slaves were considered to be loyal and trustworthy by the Sultan. These slaves were therefore specifically bought for military service and were carefully trained to occupy some of the most important political offices in the kingdom. The practice of using the Bandagan was prevalent among the early sultans, especially Iltutmish. In fact, all of the major early sultans had themselves once been slaves. The slaves proved to be such loyal governors that, according to one author, they were better than a son. Later dynasties such as the Khaljis and the Tughlaqs continued to use Bandagan. Additionally, they also appointed other people of humble birth as generals and governors. These people of humble origin, such as cooks, gardeners, and barbers, were often clients or dependents of the Sultan and enjoyed his protection. The patronage of these humble-born shocked many of the court elite. People such as Tawarikh writers who came from aristocratic backgrounds. The Tawarikh writers often criticized the Sultan for appointing the low and the base-born to high offices. Apart from shocking the court elite, the patronage of the humble-born and slaves created another conflict. The conflict between the old and the new nobility. The slaves and clients were loyal to their master, their sultan. But when a sultan died, they did not prove to be loyal to his successors. The new sultan, on the other hand, had his own servants, whom he appointed to high positions. So this created a conflict. The old sultan's servants pitted against the servants of the new sultan. The old nobility was against the new nobility. This conflict introduced an element of political instability in the Delhi Sultanate. In spite of the political instability, the appointment of slaves and clients remained a feature of the Delhi Sultanate. It really was an interesting period.